Hello and welcome everyone to this special edition podcast episode. And I've got a colleague, I would call her, because we are both GPs and we both work in the UK and we both have very similar values. I absolutely adore Dr. Izie. So thank you once again. So I'll just introduce Dr. Izie very quickly and she will tell us more about herself. First of all, I know she's a GP, like I said before. She enjoys lifestyle medicine, which you would probably have heard me talk about before. She is a coach as well. So I call people like that Dr. Coaches. And she is also a smoothie and CrossFit queen. And honestly, if you go to on Instagram, I doubt if you would not leave it feeling inspired. From what I know about Dr. Izie, she promotes health through medicine, through fitness, and through faith. And our goal is to empower you to take charge of your lifestyle by eating right and moving well. Isn't that incredible? So join me, everyone, as we welcome Dr. Izie this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time and the effort you have taken to join today.
My absolute pleasure, Dr. Jai. And thank you for inviting me. You're making me feel super extra special.
You are special. Honestly, the first time I came across your Instagram, I thought, no, I can't believe it. This is incredible. So thank you once again. Thank you once again.
My absolute pleasure. My pleasure. I'm happy to be here.
That's great. So I would just like you to tell us a bit more about your background. I think it comes better when it comes from you rather than me reading out your bio. So tell us a bit more about yourself. And also, if you can tell us a bit more about your health and fitness journey.
Okay. So when you say tell me about yourself, where do you want me to start? When I was 2? Because if you're one of my strengths, I talk a lot. I can talk forever.
No, that's
so tell me where you want me to start.
Okay, should we take it decade by decade? Should we maybe say the last 10 years of your life?
Okay.
Maybe?
Beautiful. That's a good place to start. So in my 4th decade now, so we say like from my 30s. Yeah, so I had my last child at 31. And that was when I really hit like rock bottom with my weight and my fitness journey, really. And that was the first time I started to do something about it. So I was 31 at the time. And I remember joining. Okay, so before I jump into my fitness journey, so my name is Dr. Izie, and I'm a mom.
Yes.
I'm a mom. I feel like that's my first ministry. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. No, my first ministry is being a wife, honestly. I don't know what to carry mom first. I'm a wife. I'm a mom to 3 amazing children, a 14-year-old, a 12-year-old, and an 11-year-old, 2 boys and a girl. I adore them. We do life together. And one big thing about me is I love the Lord. God is the center of everything that I do. Even this lifestyle medicine has been born out of my relationship with God and just all the direction that God leads me. And as you have already mentioned, I love to weight train. I love my family, my extended family, and I try to keep good relationships as much as I can. When I was 31, I had my last child then, and I started this journey where I joined a gym and then I got a personal coach because I had, for the first time, I'd hit a number on the scale that I'd never seen before and I was very uncomfortable. I didn't like how I was looking. And all the usual things that women get after they've had babies. So this was my 3rd child. So I knew I was going to have any more and I was ready to actually start the journey now. So this carried on and then I started my GP training. I think I was in GP training at the time as well. And all the stress of just GP training and some things happened, depression, that you didn't know that was depression at the time, training stress, everything. I failed one of my exams. It was just ridiculous. I was just going through horrible things. And I realized that it affected my eating pattern. So when I'll be very sad, I'll just eat a bar of chocolates. And I just started watching myself. And I used to do different things. I've always loved exercising, even if I didn't really understand what I was doing. So I used to run. So I would run, and then I left running, and then I started kickboxing. Then I left kickboxing. I started going to the gym at night. So I joined this gym. Yeah, so it was a night subscription. So when my kids are asleep, I'll go to the gym at like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I was just, that's the kind of person that I was. I would just do different things. But I realized I needed help. And that's why coaching is so important. Like when you're in school, you get coached, you have teachers. But when you become an adult, you just do what you like, and then you really not really hitting the mark. So I then decided I'm not quite sure how I found CrossFit, but I know that I'd gotten to the point in my life where I had enough of trying different things. I just wanted to just come into a space where I was enjoying what I was doing. So I was tired of working out because I wanted to lose weight, because truth be told, the weight was up and down still. I just wanted to be settled. So I can't remember how I stumbled onto CrossFit, but 6 years ago, so that would have been 4 years from my 31st year. So when I was like 35, I started CrossFit, and it just changed my life. It literally, I walked into CrossFit. The first person I saw was a coach. She looked amazing. And I said to her, "You look beautiful. What do you do?" She said, "It's taking me 15 years, Izzy." And I was like, wow, these things do take time. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. And I think I define myself as a restless person. I get bored very easily. So the beauty of CrossFit is you get to do 10 million different things every day. You're not doing one thing. So you're not just running.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So you're running,
interesting.
You're lifting weights, you're doing gymnastics, you're doing balancing. And we know that there are 4 types of exercises. There's strength training, there's cardio, there's flexibility, and there's balance. So CrossFit does all of that in one. So every workout
I didn't realize that. I thought CrossFit was all about lifting weights.
No, it's just, that's the part I like. But I get to do all the other things. And that's the part I show, because I do everything else. But that's the part that really, like, I feel like, because I'm competing at it now, it's the part that I like the most. Let me say it like that. So, but yeah, it's a combination of different things. And every day you go there, you have a coach. So when you have the coach, they make sure that you have the right form. They make sure that you don't get injured, you don't overlift, because sometimes you get excited and you want to do too much. You want
to go far.
Yes, and then you hurt yourself and you can't come in another month. So they really guide you properly. So I found that very beneficial. And I just loved the community. So there are people there as well that become your friends. You get there, and it's 1 hour away from just walk home. It's like I go there and I just stop worrying about everything.
Absolutely. It's just that time away from everything. Exactly. It makes so much difference, doesn't it? You feel like in my me time.
That's it. So that's my exercise journey.
I find it really interesting that you mentioned something about almost like hitting the rock bottom. I felt like, well, I've got to do something about it. It was almost like a light switch, despite the feeling of, well, I can't do it, but I can do something about it.
Yes, definitely. Because and I say to people, you don't have to hit rock bottom before you start to do things about about your life.
Yeah, absolutely. That's incredible. So how do you manage to maintain going to the gym and working and momming and wifing and doing all of those activities together?
I think for me, when I hit rock bottom, I think I got to a place where I had to define what was most important to me. So I think for all of us, or for me especially, let me speak about myself, I think people allow different things into their space until they get to the point where they know that they are just not a superhuman. So I realized that I had to prioritize. And with prioritizing, it meant that I had to put certain systems in place that, because I'm such a doer, I like to do. And so I fall into that temptation of overdoing unknowingly. So because I might overdo, I overlove, I overgive, I overdo everything.
It's creating boundaries, isn't it?
Yes, I'm an overdoer. So because I'm an overdoer, I realized that I don't also know how to not overdo for the things that could bring harm to me. So one of the things that going to the gym does for me is that it's the boundary for my mental health. So if I can make the gym, I know that I'm looking after myself. So for me, it's not like I can never say to myself, I'm too busy. It means that I'm beginning to neglect myself. So for me, going to the gym is a sign that I am putting myself in the right. Incredible. I'm looking after myself.
I like the way you talked about space. It's something about not oversaturating your space and beginning to recognize the signs. When you begin to feel like you can't look after yourself, well, you can't go to the gym, that for you is a sign that,
that I'm beginning to overdo. Yes. And I'm doing so much, and I've filled my day with so many things, and that's not good.
I know. For me, it's more like my eyes. My eyes just feel very heavy when I've overdone things, and I feel like the need to sleep all the time. I just feel like, that is it. That is my sign that I've overdone it now. I really need to take a break. I think it's just really important to understand those little signs, both physical signs and emotional signs that tell us our body keeps talking back to us, and we just really need to stop to listen, isn't it?
100%, yeah.
Okay, so let's go into strength training. What is strength training? Let me start with what is strength training before I ask why you love it, because I know you will give me 100 reasons why you love it. So tell us, what is strength training?
So strength training is strength. So strength is something that is heavy. And another name is also called resistance training. So something that you can you can work with resistance. So something that is either your body can be the resistance, or you can have something external as the resistance, so like an external weight. So that's why gymnastics is also really good, because you're like using your body as the body weight for strength training or resistance training. So it's like a type of physical activity that helps to obviously improve your muscle fitness more than anything else. You're exercising your muscles in like all of the muscle different groups against, like I said, either your body resistance or an external resistance. So you can do things like what I like to do, like the barbell, the dumbbell, the kettlebell, or some of these weight machines. I'm not a machine person. I don't know how to use machines. Some of these very beautiful small girls, they use resistant bands. You see that they are small, patchy bodies. So even, like I said, or even against your own body weight. So my daughter does gymnastics. So all she does is like body weight resistant training. So that's basically what it is, really.
I find it interesting that you talk about body weight resistant training. What exactly what does that mean? Does that mean using your body as a weight? Or
yes.
Tell
so
me a
it
bit
will
more.
be exercises like pull-ups.
Okay.
So when you're pulling up against the bar, so there's no weight there, but you're pulling your whole body weight over like a stationary bar. Yes, those kind of things. You see gymnastic movements like, what's this one called? There's just so many of them. I don't know their names
Lunges
now.
or something like that. With
No, lunges is not a gymnastic movement, but that's also like that's a movement.
It's a movement.
But
you
not,
won't call it strength
it's
training,
not,
would you?
well, not entirely, but it's also a form of, you can do it in combination with like an external weight. So if you're going to do like a lunge, you would maybe hold like a barbell, or hold like a dumbbell, or hold like a kettlebell, or maybe put a weight on your back, or that kind of thing.
Talking about weight on your back, I saw one of your Instagram posts, and you were using some weighted vests and weighted wrists, and I've never seen. Actually, that was the first time I saw it, and it made so much sense. So would that also be like body weights as well, resistance, when you maybe wear something like that and you do lunges?
Yes. So why I started to do that kind of thing was because I'm not a cardio person, but you need cardio. So you need cardio in your life. So I realized that I wasn't doing as much cardio. So I was really strength training too much. But when I cardio as well, I wanted to also make it a bit more difficult for myself. So increase the calories that I'm burning. So when I wear the weighted vest, what that does for me is it helps me burn more calories. And then it also transforms a normal walk to like a strength training exercise.
I find that really interesting, and I'm definitely going to try that, because mine is walking. I enjoy walking, and I'm trying to find how to put strength into my
your walks.
Aerobics. Yeah.
Yes. So that'll be amazing for you.
Oh my goodness, that sounds like a brilliant idea. I try to do my planks after I walk, or just combine. And that's the beauty of exercise, because it's literally finding what works for you, isn't it?
Exactly, because not everyone can do CrossFit. No one even got the time. So whatever it is that you're doing, you can incorporate different things in there that would still give you. The goal is to try and get the 4 types of exercise into your routine. So when you wear a weighted vest, it's helping you with your balance, it's helping you with your strength training, even while you're just walking. So you're burning more calories, and then you're building muscles, and it's just amazing, really. It's just a win.
Thank you so much for that. That was like a light bulb moment when I saw that. Thank you so much. So why do we need strength training, Dr. Izie?
So there are so many reasons why we need to strength train. So one of the things is that we need to obviously increase our muscle mass, especially for women. There's a lot of women that will say, "Oh, I don't want to train because I'm going to look like a man." But what they need to realize is this such a big thing for most women, because they need to realize that you're not going to ever look like a man because you don't have the kind of testosterone that they have. So because we don't have that kind of testosterone, you're going to just build muscle. You're going to be very well defined in some areas of your body, yes, but you're not going to end up looking like a man. I've trained for 6 years now, and I still look like a woman. So I lift very heavy, so no one's going to look like a man. Yeah, so we need to obviously increase our muscle strength and increase, like I said, you look better, you look firmer, especially for older women. When you start to get older, you want to look, your body starts to sag, estrogen is disappearing, your skin is becoming more lax. When you lift weights, your muscles tone, you have a firmer body structure. For most people that just do cardio, you see that they don't have any tone to their muscles. So if you want to have a defined look, that's really good. So your muscles can be stronger. And then also, the more muscle you have, the more calories you're going to burn. And that's one of the reasons why I love strength training, because the day I strength train, I can burn up to 2,000, 3,000 calories, as compared to when I just maybe do like a cardio workout. I do like 600, and I've been sweating and huffing and puffing even more. So, so even you're burning more calories at rest. So when you leave the gym, you're still burning calories. So it increases your basal metabolic rate, which reduces as you get older. The older we get, your basal metabolic rate drops. But when you strength train, when you build more muscle, when you strength train, you build more muscle. The more muscle you have, the higher your basal metabolic rate. So which means that you will burn more calories. And for older women that you're going to probably be struggling with your weight, that's obviously a benefit as well. And then also we know that bone density, for people who don't want to be tripping and falling, we know that osteoporosis, osteomalacia, for those that don't know what that is when your bone density and your bone strength starts to reduce because of age and reduction of estrogen. So you want to make sure that your bones are not weak. And when you strength train, that does that for you. And also for me, it's the mental health thing as well. It's just amazing. The amount of, because I think a lot of things in life for women and this middle age, life can be very difficult. A lot of things come for us as women. But when you do all of these really powerful, strong things, it reminds you that you're strong. It reminds you that your self-esteem, you look amazing, your body is well defined. It actually helps depression, it helps anxiety, because it stimulates all these amazing good hormones, the endorphins, dopamine, all those things. And it's just so good. It helps your posture. Sometimes my people see my daughter and say, "Is that your sister?" And I'm like, "Ooh, okay." Please tell them I'm your sister. Don't tell them I'm your mother. Tell them I'm your sister. And it's just amazing. You can pick up stuff. You don't need help with small things. You can climb stairs. It's just such a beautiful. You're not at risk of falling. And even if you fall, you're not going to break anything, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing. Arthritis disappears. All the chronic illnesses, because you're exercising properly, all of that disappears as well. So it's such a necessity. It's a no-brainer, really.
Honestly, I agree with you. And the way you talk about it, you're so passionate about
I
it.
love
I
it
really
because
can't
my
help
life
it.
is.
It's
I've seen it
changed.
work. Yes, like it's not something I read about. It's something I've lived, or something I'm living. Yeah, so it does work.
I quite like what you talked about in terms of muscle conditioning and the fact that you are toned. Many people worry about if they do those kind of strength training, they're going to have back pain. They're worried, even though they haven't tried it.
Yeah.
And what's the risk of injuries with it?
So, like I said, I've done for 6 years now, and to God be the glory, I have never had an injury. I can say that fully. And I lift 160 kg deadlift. I lift 125 kg back squat. I do 105 kg front squat. I lift very heavy. So I remember when I first started to weight lift, I had people sending me messages, "Be careful, don't hurt yourself, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like,
good meaning people.
I know. Like, you be careful so you don't stop lying on your bed. You have to get out of your bed as well. But the more you strength train, the stronger your muscles are. I think we ignore our spine because there are muscles on our spine that needs to be strengthened. So when you back squat, you do those things, they do strengthen your back muscles, they strengthen your spine for you. So your muscles are more stable. You're at less risk of injury the more you lift, you lift heavy and all those kind of things. So like I said, I have a coach all the time I'm lifting. So I'm not just lifting. Yeah. So someone's watching me. And even if they're busy, I'm like, I'm going to wait. Come and watch my lift. Someone's watching me. Someone's telling me what to do. I just don't go there and do what I like. So I said to my coach, "What should I lift today?" And he says, "What did you lift? What was your last lift?" Yeah, this. And I listen. So I don't just go there doing like as if I've always done it and I know what I'm doing. I listen to what my coaches tell me. And if I don't feel, because this is another thing I'm very passionate about again. I've just recently started to really advocate for women and their hormones in terms of like their periods. So there are certain times in your periods where you're going to feel very tired and your muscles are not going to be very effective. So when I'm like that, I try to just do easy, stretchy exercises as compared to lifting heavy. So I now know what to avoid at certain times of the month so that you're not at risk of injuries because your body is not just working properly. So I would say to people, start small. Don't be too afraid of what it looks like. Yes, I'm lifting all these big weights, but I didn't always used to lift those kind of weights. I've grown to do that. So start small, lift what you can, and you will see the amazing benefits, and you would be so glad and eager and excited to begin to add a little bit more weight as you go along.
I certainly sense that. Look, watching your journey, I find it really inspiring and very empowering as well.
Thank you very much.
And one of the things I have learned so far from what you said is, one, definitely doing things like weight lifting actually conditions your muscles. It actually tones your muscle. Particularly,
100%.
we know women going into their 40s, they begin to have hormonal fluctuations. You've touched on that before. They feel tired. So actually, when you begin to do, obviously you have to recognize the tiredness will be there and acknowledge it, but it's not going to be there all the time. So those moments where you don't feel tired, you should be able to do some things.
Yeah.
But if you persevere with it, you will begin to find that actually it can change your middle-aged body. You can begin to look young
100%,
again.
yeah,
Is that
100%.
correct? Am I getting
yes,
that right?
100%. I still wear the same trouser that I wore when I was doing my F1 and F2.
Can you
Like,
imagine?
and it's still like the waistline. I don't need to take the button on the top off. I still can button it. Like,
incredible.
that was, when did I do that? That was 2006. So where are we now?
That's nearly 18
2014
years ago.
Yeah. So I can still wear the exact same pants that I wore then. I wear to work sometimes. So I think for me, that's the best gift. It's not really the fact that I can still wear clothes from almost 20 years ago and I'm still comfortable in them. I have one of my fashion designer. She lives in Lagos. She's my sister-in-law as well. Shout out to House of Juliet Peters. She still has the same measurements. She doesn't need to, she just says, what do you want to wear? She doesn't have to keep measuring me back and forth. Those small things, they add to life and the enjoyment you get out of life, I think. Just not feeling like, oh, nothing's going to fit. You always have to worry about how you look. I have a party, I have to lose weight. I'm traveling, I have to lose weight. I'm going to a wedding, I have to. That's not the song I sing anymore. It's not about having to lose weight, just staying healthy, just doing your normal routine. The weight would go. And even if the weight doesn't go, it translates into muscle or it becomes less of a problem, to be honest. Absolutely. And even if you put weight on, it's fine. You will lose it anyway.
Yes. Again, it's just having that routine, isn't it? And having that consistency where you do things regularly. So even if you have a few cheat days, you'll probably find that within the next couple of weeks, you're going to lose that weight again.
You bounce
and it's just
back
getting
again.
That balance.
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. So what can people do at home if they don't go to the gym? I know you're a gym person, but not everybody's at that level.
And I agree 100% because even for me, sometimes COVID was a serious eye-opener for everyone. Everyone just thought, oh yes, I cannot. But when there was no, you couldn't go anywhere. It was very upsetting for everybody. So I think even if you're a gym girl, just try and still have some form of routine going on in the house. I think it does make a lot of difference. So I would say, first of all, the first thing is to have a really clear objective as to what you want to do and how you want to achieve your goals. I personally believe that you can start small if you don't want to go to the gym. CrossFit is very expensive, so not everyone, I can understand, can afford it. And sometimes people can, but sometimes you can't even. Some people have like really small children and they're not in this phase of life that I'm in, so they can't really like go and do stuff. So I would say get a dumbbell and a kettlebell at home. Maybe start with a small weight, like say, if you're going to get like a kettlebell, you can start with 8 kg or 6 kg. And then if you're going to get a dumbbell, you can start with like 8 kg and then 10 kg. And then you can start with exercises. So even if you're doing a normal simple squat, you can add your dumbbell to the squats. If you're doing the lunges, you can add the dumbbell to the lunges. You talked about planks. Planks are amazing. Those are strength exercises as well. You can do a lot of press-ups. Press-ups are amazing. People underrate them. You don't need any equipment for a press-up. I personally, if I ever wanted to get my gym set up, I'm going to definitely get like a pull-up bar because you just need to jump on the bar and pull yourself up. That's such an amazing way to build upper body strength and back muscles. And it's so good. Your lats, your core, your pull-ups will really help. And that's such an amazing way. So, and some people do not have to have a gym. There's this lovely pull-up bars that you can put in between doors and just stick it somewhere in your house. Yeah. You can screw it in between your doors. And so you just pull on it and it's beautiful. And but you have to be very disciplined. I feel like, because I know that I like someone to kick my butt. I like someone to tell me what to do when it comes to things like that. So that's why CrossFit works for me, and going somewhere where I know someone's going to tell me what to do work. So you need to know your kind of person. You know your weaknesses, you know your strengths. I know that's a weakness for me, but I've found a way to work around it. I just show up and somebody tells me what to do. I like it, works for me. But some people they're able to do stuff themselves, and that's fine. I'm happy for you as well. Do it yourself, but make sure that you're showing up every day. It doesn't have to be an hour. Start with 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I tend to train between 4 to 5 times a week. If I'm feeling really positive, say 6 times, but most times 5. If I'm really tired, 4. And if I'm really, really tired or I'm really busy, 3. So minimum 3, maximum 6. In between can happen anytime. So it's just finding that routine and making sure you show up. Yeah.
That's an incredible. I quite like the fact that you put your money where your mouth is in a way. Pay someone to teach you, and obviously when you pay, you show up. I still find people who pay who don't show up, and I think that's a double whammy.
Well, I also think that because it was £20, that's why they're not showing up. If you pay good money, you'll show up.
You will show up.
Yeah, money makes people listen. So when people listen where they put their money. They would, if you collect proper money from somebody, they will show up.
Wow. Thank you so much for today. We are rounding up now, and I'm so grateful for the insight. Personally, for me, maybe because it's a personal challenge for myself this year that I would like to start my strength training. That's why I had to find you. And I certainly have received a lot of insight, and I feel actually very genuinely inspired to, even though I do something, I do my own bit, but you still feel like, wow, I can actually do more, not because I want to overdo it, but because I can see the benefits that it's going to do for me, especially as a woman in my 40s. So what will be your take-home message? Just maybe 2 or 3 take-home message for strength training.
Okay, so I think we have to be patient. First of all, it's not going to happen overnight. And then secondly, I also think consistency, like we've already mentioned, and then nutrition. Nutrition is also a really big part of everything, because if you don't eat well, no matter what you do, you're just going to have it all over the place. So prioritize your protein, prioritize your balanced diet. I'm a big fan of smoothie because it helps me get my fiber in, helps me get extra protein if I'm not feeling like I want to be doing all the extra stuff. Don't be afraid to eat. People are very scared to eat because they think eating will make them afraid. You are burning energy. So look at food like you're looking after yourself. You're giving your body energy to do stuff. Yeah, so exactly. Thank you. So you're foiling your body as compared to seeing food as something really bad, or you're going to get fat after eating. And also, people should drink water. People don't drink enough water. People should remember to stay hydrated because it would really help your recovery and also help your workouts. People should plan to rest. Rest is such a big thing. So if you're working out and you have a day of rest, make sure you're resting. Like, rest is so important. And then also, like, start small. Don't you have a big goal, but start small. The goal is to start. Just start small and be consistent at what you're doing. And you will see those muscles begin to show. You'll see your 6-pack come out. You'll see yourself lifting heavy things. And you will find that your hormones are more balanced. And just they chip in with the menstrual cycle as well. Remember that when your period comes up to your ovulation, that's when you have more energy then. And then when you start to head on the other side again to your period again, or your hormones are dipping, your progesterone is going up, so you need to be more careful. That's when you do like really soft exercises because your muscles are more lax and you're more prone to injury then. So it's just really understanding your body and how that works so that you can benefit better and get because sometimes you go to the gym at the beginning of your period and you can lift a lot, and then you go at the end and you're very tired, you don't want to do anything. Don't beat yourself to it. Just show up another day. Give yourself grace. And I'm cheering for everyone, and I'm sure we can all do this. We're all strong women. We've been through a lot. If you've been a woman is phenomenal. So if we can do womanhood, we can do strength training.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. Thank you. So be patient, be consistent. Think of your nutrition. Think of your hydration. Think of your protein. Don't be afraid to eat. So many gems there. Thank you so much, Dr. Izie. God bless you. And Amen. I do hope that more and more strong women and more people will benefit from just seeing how you go about getting your body strong. And hopefully we will get more and more women in their 40s, a generation of women who are able to hand that baton down to the next generation by God's grace.
Amen. Amen.
So lovely to hear you. I'm so grateful for this time. And once again, my deep appreciation and gratitude to you, Dr. Izie. Honestly,
my pleasure.
I don't know how to say it anymore, but I'm genuinely grateful that you've taken time out of a very busy day to join me. And definitely we'll be sharing this on all our platforms. So thank you so much once again.
No problem. You're very welcome. And I'm really pleased to be here. Hopefully everyone can benefit from the conversation.
All right. Thank you.
All right. God bless you.